had the new iPad now for a week, and I can honestly say that I am thoroughly glad I have purchased this product. Every day I've found myself on it doing little odd and end things, making notes or creating little pictures or videos, and it's just fantastic. It's so much easier to use. Well, I shouldn't say so much easier to use, but I enjoy being on here more than I do a laptop. It's easier when you're sitting in you're sitting in the living room and you're just wanting to play around on it, do a little couple things. It's so much easier than having to open up the lid of the laptop, turn the power button on, wait for it to boot, sign into it, then wait for the OS to load. It's just easier to hit a button, slide the lock. If you have a password code, put that in, and bam, you're there, ready to go. Some of the pros that I've had with this is it's extremely easy to use. My best friend, I handed this to her kids. Their ages are 13 and 12. Never played with something like this before, and it was just it was natural to them to just touch it. They were able to get around easily. They knew to it was amazing how natural it came to them, and I think the touch interfaces is something that we are going to be seeing lots more of in years to come, because it's beautiful, it's fluid. It's just nice to, you don't have to double click on something. Well, occasionally you might have to double click on this or that. Also, the interface is just fantastic. I love a nice, clean looking interface. You can organize it around however you want, combine apps into other apps and make a combined app list. If you wanted to organize apps that way, say you had like a note-taking app and a calendar app and something to do, maybe a documents app, and you could put all those apps into one little group and call it whatever you wanted. And then if you needed to take a note, you could say, oh, I needed to go to my note-taking apps. I need a good note, and go from there. Also, I love the portability for the iPad. Like I said before, I find it easier portability-wise to use more so than a laptop. Every weekend I go off and hang out with a friend, and usually take my laptop with me. From now on, I'll be taking my iPad with me because it is so much easier to use to pack this sucker up than it is to take a bulky laptop, put it in the bag, grab the power brick, put that in the bag. If you have a wireless mouse, throw that in there too. Whereas I can just throw my smart cover on there, and I'm good to go. Also, the apps are just beautiful on here. More so for the apps that were developed or updated after, or specifically for this Retina display. If you're using apps on here that take full advantage of the Retina display, oh boy, are your eyes having some fun with that. It is very crisp. It is very sharp. I am astounded at how beautiful it is. I'll give you an example here. I go from using my iPad to my smartphone. It's a Samsung Galaxy S, and I just feel cheated somehow. Now granted, it is an AMOLED display on here, but there is just some different. There is just a little sharper on the iPad, the new iPad, than it is on my smartphone. And so when I go, how can I give you an example? When I go from the new iPad to my smartphone, it's just, I feel like I'm going to something a little more dumbed down. I don't know. It's odd. It's very weird. It sounds weird coming out of my mouth, I know, but when you experience it, you'll know what I'm talking about here. Also, the thing is stupid fast. There's hardly any load time when you're actually opening the app. They load quickly. They load smoothly. Going back and forth between pages is very smooth. It's very fluid. Now that's not to say that download speeds, downloads and uploads are a completely different beast right there. I'm talking about the actual performance of the iPad here, and it's so smooth and so fluid. It's like pouring water out of a jug into a glass. Also, the battery life on this thing is amazing. I cannot believe how much battery life I can push out of this thing. I mean, when I first got it, or actually I should say the day after I got it on a full charge, I used this thing all day long, from like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning to about 10 o'clock at night, and it had around 20% battery life left. It was amazing at how awesome the battery life is. I can't even use laptops and get that kind of battery life out of them. So, I mean, another reason why I'll be taking an iPad around with me more often than I will a laptop. Now, that's not to say that I won't use laptops, but I find more use out of the iPad now than with my laptop. Now, some of the cons that I found to the iPad are, if you get the iLife suite, like iMovie, iPhoto, etc., when you're doing the photo editing and video editing, you are going to see a bit of performance hit. Granted, though, this is not really what the iPad was meant for. It is not meant to be a power hog when you're doing video or photo editing. It's not going to be very smooth. You're really not going to have a whole lot of options. If you want to do good, if you want to have good editing software or do it on a fast machine, you're going to have to do it on a desktop pretty much. This thing is not really going to pump out the juice that you're looking for. It's nice for doing little touch-ups and whatnot, but if you're wanting to do really hardcore editing and stuff, the iPad's not for that. Also, you may have heard that people are reporting that the bottom left corner gets a little warm. That is correct. After using it for a prolonged time, it does get warm on this bottom corner. Not very, very hot, but just noticeably warm to the touch when you put it on there. I can actually feel it getting warm now, and I've only had it on for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. But it does get a little warm after using it for a while. But it cools off very quickly after having it off for having the screen turned off for just a couple minutes. It's already cooled with the touch again. But I mean, it's not gonna burn you or anything. It may be something that Apple will be addressing later on. We'll see. So that's been my review of the new iPad. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content from us, we're gonna have more coming out. Just hit the subscribe button up there, and please do hit the like button. And I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the new iPad? Have you purchased one? Are you looking to purchase one? Leave a comment below and leave your thoughts.